Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drop Frames. How's it going, Zeke? What's going on with you? What are you? Why are you so weirded out?
I'm in the default world, man. The real world is here, man. It's like I can touch you, dude. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's weird,
Hold on.
man.
No, I'm just like really big and really close to.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
I got it.
we had
Hold on. You got to move it this way. There we go. That's better.
we had Better
Then
Co on the show.
I'll
Oh,
pull it
also
up.
Jericho reclaimed the throne. He's now Better Co again, once again.
He is.
Yeah, Co lost in a epic rock paper scissors match. Best of
Okay.
three. Jericho won. So
Okay.
it was a battle for the ages that you missed out on.
Well,
Yeah.
Jericho's got those really small hands. He can just slip that paper in there
Yep.
without you
He
even
does.
like seeing it happen.
It's true.
He does. He couldn't beat me in the virtual world, so he had to go analog. That's cool. You know,
It's
you do
true.
what you got to do. I understand.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in future bouts. What episode are we on?
23,416.
Okay, 23,416.
How long was I gone, man?
I don't know. I don't know.
Been 84 years.
Look at this beard. Where did this beard come
Jesus. Well, I don't.
you before the show? Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna be here talking about. Except, one thing that really jumped out at me at the very beginning.
Yeah,
Song that we use, new game by Nitro Fun.
right.
I was driving one of my fellow campmates. He wanted to leave a little early as well, so I drove him back from Black Rock City to Reno. And we were talking about, like, as you do, you talk about next year, like, oh God, what are we gonna do next year, and all this kind of stuff. And I was thinking, like, man, I really want to make a mutant vehicle, an art car, basically, because you can like drive around the playa at like 5 miles per hour, but you don't have to like ride your bike places. You have loud music playing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what's severely lacking at Burning Man as far as music goes? Because there's places you can listen to like 90s and metal and EDM is everywhere and shit
Sure.
like that. But what we don't get a lot of is like the awesome like video game inspired music. Like there's not a lot of that out there. There's no like Nitro Fun, Pegboard Nerds. There's like none
Yeah.
of that shit.
Yeah.
Chipsol, whatever who like name an artist. Like there's not a lot of that out there. And I really would like to make an art car that specializes in video game inspired music. And just because I showed it to a friend of mine, I was like, now listen, and I showed him New Game. I
Yeah.
was like, now listen to this. Did you picture this being out on the playa and people dancing? It's like, dude, this is fucking like, this is banging. It's got that bleep bloop, and that's what he called like
The bleep bloop.
video game music.
The
Bleep
chip
bloop,
tune.
because
Yeah.
it has that like the mushroom sound of Mario getting bigger. That brr, brr, brr,
Right.
like in the song. He's like, dude, you could really get an art car going with some bleep bloop in there, and it'd be pretty banging. I was like, I know, right? It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
You should
And
make
and
it.
I- we
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. By all means, continue your story.
we did it. We like he put us like made a Spotify channel that we listened to for like the 2-hour drive from Black Rock to Reno. And he's like, dude, some of this shit is fucking awesome. It's like, I know, right?
Yeah.
Why is this not represented out there? So
You should make an art car that looks like a creeper from Minecraft, and then just follow people at 5 miles an hour, like right behind them as they're walking around.
that would be so cool because, well, dude, and because art cars are made from anything from like little golf carts all the way up. There was like semi truck, like a full on semi truck with like a big like warrior mask face on the front of it, like a Maximum Overdrive. I don't know if you remember
Sure. Oh, yeah.
the cover art for that. Like it was like that, but this big like wooden warrior face on it, and so it goes from like big to small. So I could definitely like see myself getting a golf cart and like creeping out, just like creeping up behind like all these different art cars and just like following them at 5 miles
great.
per hour.
That'd be great. You should
That'd be
do it.
hilarious. There actually was an art car with I don't know if it was Blinky or Pinky or whatever, but it was one of the ghosts from Pac-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say
And-
Pinky in the Brain. I was like, what? Why is that a?
No.
Anyways.
I mean, well, yeah. I'm not sure if I saw any like cartoon art cars out there. There was one like video game inspired one that looked like I think it was an alligator from Frogger, like blocked out, pixelated.
You're pixelated right now.
Yep.
Don't
He's
call.
going Frogger on us.
It's pulling me back. It's pulling me
God.
back. Ah!
It's trying to get you back out there.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Cause can you hear me? Like,
Yes.
is it-
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're coming.
Yeah,
Your
all right?
audio's
Okay.
fine now. Yeah.
Okay. No, we were talking about this also before the show. Like, I don't know why my feed to you, JP, is so shitty.
I don't know. It's those landlines, man.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta feed that hamster. That,
You do.
That powers up the Montana internet.
You do.
Speaking
Funny
of
story
that,
about that for later.
Yeah. Go. Speaking of what? Of hamsters?
Landlines.
We're gonna talk about hamsters
No,
or landlines?
Montana internet. Hopefully, I won't have to put up for that for too much longer.
Yeah. Have you talked about that publicly yet?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit on my channel.
Cool.
Yeah, before I left, I'm in plans on moving to Denver, Colorado.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Do you have a estimated date?
not an estimated date. I'm
So
going to.
you would say you're in early access right now? Really? Are you?
I would say I'm in early access.
Okay.
I would say I'm in pre alpha.
Okay, pre-alpha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
No, but honestly, it's the plan is after TwitchCon, I will start the process, and hopefully I will be down there before the end of October.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Wow, that's soon.
That's
I mean,
soon,
I
yeah.
already have a place set up. I just need to hook up internet and get my shit down there.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a fun time. You better get down there before it hits winter, obviously, because then it's a motherfucker to move. So.
Oh, Skodex, yes. I don't know if he's actually announced that yet, but yes, he is moving primarily to Mary Scott.
That is also true. It's legal in Denver.
Yes.
Among other things. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a lot of people have assumed that, like, oh, you're moving to Colorado. Huh? I know why. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not why, man.
That probably
Like,
happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you saw me at Burning Man, you'd know, like, I don't. There's things that I like and things that I don't like, and weed is one of those things that I don't like.
Sure. Okay. To each their own. You know what you know. Yeah. I don't know how much time or even if this is worth talking about it, but Co ran into some internet issues while you were gone as well. He was fighting the Spectrum beast.
Yeah. I've been. I mean, like a guy helped me a lot. I was having months of issues about a half year ago, and a dude actually flew out. He was super helpful. Miss Mustachio, as you guys know.
Yeah.
He flew out.
He flew out to help. He was here for a whole day helping out. Like he did. Like, I was unable to stream for days out of the week for months, and he got that all worked out. And the internet was like great for like over a month. Everything was good, and then like slowly over the last few weeks, little issues, and then the last few days, like hard drops in the afternoon, multiple just complete cutouts, drop frames all over the place. So funny enough, and this is what made me say what I did earlier about your joke about landlines. The joke is that landlines are always better. If you're on a landline, then you're good. The whole thing, like when Ethernet and wireless came out, oh, you're a gamer, you use Ethernet. Like, that's just how it was. So what's funny though is now we live in the age where I am actually looking at getting a mobile streaming setup on a cell signal
For your house.
as my new main connection.
Sure.
So literally, like, if you know the people that wear the backpacks
Yep.
when they do their live
Used
streaming,
one in Japan.
I'm
yeah.
actually looking into getting one of those that will sit next to my window. And if my internet dies, then it flips over to the cell signal and it starts broadcasting over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus,
I mean, it's the worst part is I'm only getting internet. I pay $125 a month for it.
yeah, Spectrum likes to
So
screw you.
it's just, God, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. I'm gonna try a little bit longer. It's gonna take like weeks to months apparently to get this other thing, even the ball rolling on it. So I am stuck with Spectrum for a little bit. Also, kind of cool though. I gotta say this is the first for this. This morning somebody sent me a tweet, and it was somebody that I wasn't familiar with their real name or picture. And they said, "Hey, Co, I lurk in your channel. I really like what you do. I went ahead and contacted your regional manager in your area. I work for Spectrum, and you should be getting a call from them." And then sure enough, during my stream, I missed a call, and my little voicemail to text popped up, And he was like, yeah, hi, I'm the local regional from Spectrum, and I wanted to check with your issues, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, is this really happening?
Huh.
So I may see if something happens from that. And a huge thank you if you're the person that tweeted that at me.
Yeah, I wonder how
that was pretty amazing.
I wonder what that can actually do to help you compared to just like the normal tech service. I guess they just get the ball rolling faster on stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Well, the problem is the way Spectrum works is you only interface with their call center, and then their call center is who talks to all the local people. So the biggest problem is because you're always interfacing with tier 1, essentially,
right?
They never actually talk to the people who do the work. So the people that do the work basically have to get all the key info they need through a person that has absolutely no need or urge to make that happen properly. So it's just a mess.
Yeah.
But apparently this guy talks directly to those people. So this is like I talk to him and he talks to the people that fix the lines. So
hopefully it works.
It'll be cool. We'll see. I'll try anything at this point.
Yeah, fuck. I do not
What's
dread internet issues.
What's so unbelievably frustrating about it is like you'll be sitting there and you'll have months of solid great internet, and then it'll just start like fucking up and dropping frames, and like your bitrate will go down, and like it'll be like, because mine was like a graph of someone who's like barely hanging on to life and shit. Yeah looks like a heart monitor. The heart's not working right. I'm the same way with like plotter. Fine, fuck you. And they're like, so did you try this? Like, I didn't touch anything. I didn't fucking touch. I didn't change a goddamn thing. I kept it the way it was. It's like the thought of Rome. You whisper it and it's gone. That's why I don't touch my internet shit, because once it's working, I keep it in a glass box, like fucking Mr. Freeze and his wife. Like I don't let anybody look at it or touch it.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Oh my god.
They're the worst. We'll talk about games in a bit. I think first, though, we're going to have Ko introduce Twitch's new thing they just launched, because I feel like you're closely related to it more so than me and Zeke. Talk about channel points, Ko. They hit the wire last night.
Yes,
well, we say that.
How are channel points?
So the funny thing is, though, is the channel points thing kind of snuck up on me too. I've definitely had a meeting or few with Twitch about this, and I kind of knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be turned on last night.
Yeah, no one did. It was kind of.
I went to the email and I was like, hopefully they send us an email that lists out all the features and how we can use them and stuff. And you go to the email, and the email is like, hey, we turned on this feature. Click here to check it out. And you click on it, and it takes you to your settings in your thing. So it's like,
dude, did they even include the help article in that email? Because I found the help article after the fact on my own.
Somebody earlier on the blog post that I think linked to the help article.
God.
But that was a little strange. But anyway, TLDR. Channel points are Twitch's look. I wouldn't quite say it's like a new implemented system. I would say it's them kind of testing the waters to see how they want to do it.
Right.
Because, of course, many channels have their own currency system. And then Mixer came up with its currency system that's not really a currency system. And I think that channel points are kind of like a medium. They're trying to find a place kind of between them. So what channel points are, first of all, subs get more than non-subs, which I don't know about. Like, immediately for me, that's like, wow, I actually asked specifically for the otherwise.
Yeah.
It's and I don't have the option to change that. That kind of stuff.
I think you can change it to be more, right? You can change it from 2x to 3x. Is that true? Or I'm going off of Twitter at this point, so that might be completely
I don't
false.
know where.
Okay.
Right. Maybe somewhere. But yeah, you can rename them and you can brand them and stuff, which is cool.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, the what channel points are is they're basically a currency that you earn. I believe they're channel centric, so you have different pools and different channels. I think that could be incorrect though. And then you can spend those and this is where it gets really cool. This is why channel points are really cool. You can then spend them as a non-sub or a sub in many cases to do things that bypass the systems that normally require money. So the really cool things, for instance, is like you can have it so long-term non-subs can spend the channel currency they've accrued to then send messages in sub mode. That's cool. Another thing is like highlight my message. Well, the highlight my message thing, we've already piped that into my sub notification. So if somebody uses the highlight a message thing, it pops up in my sub block like they sub. So now finally, people that don't have a penny to their name or don't want to give a penny to Twitch can still interact like they have money in the stream. That's awesome. Like this kind of stuff's great. Also, non-subs can unlock an emote, which is cool. So they can actually.
It's 24 hours though, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe it's limited time.
Okay.
And then also you can modify an emote in little ways. So you can take an emote and make it grayscale. You can flip it. So if you really like one emote, but you want to put an emote like on each side of a word, then you can pay to flip an emote, and then you have the normal emote and the flipped emote. You can put little glasses on it and other stuff like that. So little things. But I mean, again, short answer, channel currency to allow people to then spend that currency to bypass things that may be in place or to add more functionality to their chat in various little fun ways. They also let you do custom rewards.
Right.
I gotta say, I'm interested to see what streamers come up with this stuff. But essentially, you can put like a block of text that would have you do something. So, like one of the things they submitted as an example is you could say for 1,000 channel points, then I will do a little dance on stream, and then people can spend that. It'll do a notification. Then I would then have to do it. Now, the reason I say that I would have to do a little dance is because you can have it do anything. So if it's like if you're doing a stream where it's like donate to do push-ups, well, maybe you can put in channel currency for that. If you were giving away something in the channel, maybe you could have the channel currency be who gets that. So like there's all sorts of things. Like the possibilities are wide in terms of what streamers could do with this stuff.
Right.
If I were to want to see JP's points, how would I see what your rewards are? I mean,
well, they're at the bottom of the chat screen. And I think you just click the little salt because I renamed it to salt.
Oh, click to claim a bonus. Oh, there's the salt, 1.5k salt.
Yes, and I don't know how the bonus thing works. I think that accumulates if you've watched for like an hour or something like that. I think you get a bonus after a certain amount of time for watching for that long. I don't know. The only thing that I have, I turned off all the rewards and I just have one thing right now because I don't know what I want them to be, and so I just have like
and another
a dummy
big thing
one.
is we don't even have the metrics yet. Like
Yeah.
how much is going out per hour and how much all that. So like I originally it said like channel message highlight for like 150 or something, and within 10 minutes I had 40 of them in my notification queue. So I was like, no. So I it like got completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take weeks to months to figure out.
Someone also said
the right balance.
Your only reward is 1 million. I haven't made any meaningful rewards yet.
Yeah, that's just a custom one that I made because I turned the other ones off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another really fun thing you could do, for instance, is you could have it so 5,000 channel points is a gifted sub. So you can tell people, like, if you've been watching me for however, like, you could have it equate to 10 hours. So 10 hours worth of watching points, and that person could then buy you have purchased a sub from JP, in which case you or your mod could just, like, gift him a sub.
Yeah.
Or that kind of thing. So, like, there's all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I think the one thing that's always been cool about the token systems is what the person running the token system does with it. And now that it's going to eventually be site-wide, I'm curious to see what other streamers... Because the whole streaming game is just stealing from other streamers. So I'm just curious to see what other streamers come up with and then implement that on my own channel in some form. Because that's all this is, ultimately.
Yeah, JP... To a lesser extent, JP, but to a larger extent, me. If there's a way I can make it like completely sarcastic and just like a joke, I will try my best.
Yeah.
You have my promise that I will try my best to offer things that I could never possibly deliver on. Like 1 million points, you get a camel, a real live camel.
Good time to mention, by the way,
I'll look at the legality of it and see what's going on, but.
As G4C just said, I'm concerned about what it says about maybe reset on October 15th. Quick heads up, the system is beta right now.
It is.
So everything right now in channel points is being tested. Nothing is permanent. Not all channels have it active right now. So any points or stuff you get, spend them, have fun with them. Because like G4C just said, they are going to reset them. before the channel goes live permanently. So, or before the system goes live.
Well, they might reset them, right? Like it says we might reset on October 15th or whatever. It's who knows? I don't. I think that's even shittier than just saying we're going to reset them. Like the maybe chance. It's kind of rough.
Well, this brings up another really interesting question though. Can we give or remove channel points from people? Can we reset our own channel points?
Right.
Because like for instance, if I wanted to go and redo all of my pricing after I finally understand over using it a month exactly how it works, like I'm gonna really want to reset it at that point, or at least like take off a global amount, get everyone on the same page or something. So yeah, I hope they give us all these options. I'm not seeing them anywhere, but it may just be somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is you just accrue points by watching.
Yeah, just by idling. Yeah.
And
okay.
It has to be through certain things. One of my moderators watches a stream through VLC, as he has for years, and apparently he was not gaining channel points doing that.
Is he idling in a chat though?
He definitely was in chat because he always gets my normal channel tokens.
Huh. I wonder what they're using as like the on switch then, because if it's not chat and it's not watching the stream, maybe it's just like maybe there's some weird logger that occurs when you're on the Twitch platform.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I just got linked, and I'll throw this in the page here. Thank you, Kim and my mod, for this. I just got linked. Apparently, there's a large legal page on what points can be used and what they can't be used for. Points are not a money instrument. The digital content intended to be acquired and consumed on Twitch. Points have no monetary value and do not constitute currency or property of any type. Points cannot be used to purchase or exchange outside of Twitch.
So does that look at this. Okay, use it for merch then, I guess? Is that
how to earn points? You earn them by viewing, watch streaks. Earn points by watching 2 or more of a creator's streams in a row. Earn points for following a channel. Earn points for joining a raid. Earn points by being a Twitch Prime member. Okay, so apparently there's going to be lots of different ways to do.
Sure. I mean, all this is just ways to get people involved in the Twitch ecosystem at the end of the day. Which I don't
it's also going to really really going to skew ad revenue shit. Like people are going to be idling in channels just cause.
Oh, just for points.
Yeah. Also, according to
somewhere the channel has to be live.
That I'm not
I do believe you have to be live to get points.
I would think so.
But also, according to this, we cannot use this to give away subs. Subs are a monetary. Subs have a monetary value.
Let me ask
you this,
though.
We cannot exchange points from anything that has a monetary value of any kind.
Can I choose to do that though?
How do they police that?
I mean, this is where it gets a little bit interesting because for giveaways and stuff, even though people do like illegal sub giveaways all the time, Twitch just doesn't care because they're not involved. But channel points are completely Twitch's. They own them. Right. So maybe they're going to be more aggressive with them. I will say though that they gave us some really hard language with bits and what bits could be used for, and they just didn't care at all about what people. They still don't care what people do with bits. I see people misusing bits all the time from like stuff we were told specifically we can't do, and they just aren't doing anything with that. So I don't know, man.
I mean that because here's what to get around that, you just say, all right, I'm going to have a tier for 1,000 channel points. We'll gift you a balloon, and a balloon is just a keyword for a sub, but you just never say sub anywhere. So boom.
Well, theoretically, again, according to this, nothing can be outside of Twitch. So just by initially saying, I will give you a balloon for points.
We'll make you feel special.
According to this document, that would be immediately invalid.
What if we'll make you feel special?
What about a bus? Why don't we just completely take the veil off and just do sub backwards? Like, I will give you a bus.
A bus.
You have a gift bus.
A digital bus. A digital bus on the platform. Yeah. No, I'm curious to see how they police that. Or if they do it all.
Yeah.
That would
do not use points to engage in any fraudulent, criminal, or other unauthorized activity. or solicit or receive points for any fraudulent, criminal, or otherwise unauthorized
That's
activity.
just all that is just a lawyer
It is
posted
illegal
something.
to
Yeah.
do criminal things
Yeah.
with our points.
I'm sick, man. I'll suck your dick.
Yeah.
I'll suck your dick with some Twitch points.
Man, yeah. So that's just a lawyer post. All that is. There's no one prettied that up. They just
By the way,
Copy
for
pasted.
the person in chat that was joking about loot boxes, Twitch already tried those.
they did. Yeah, I forgot what was that even called. Twitch box or
Twitch box or something. Yeah, they definitely already did that.
That was with. Oh yeah, it was emote,
Emote
boxes.
boxes. That's right.
Yeah.
Emote boxes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Huh.
In there, done that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens now with all these like legalities. Which you're the first person to bring this up in the past 24 hours that I've seen. I'm curious how many people will actually. I think the number one thing that people have done is like you can use X amount of channel points. I keep wanting to say bits. You can use X amount of channel points to redeem a gifted sub, and now that's quote not deemed. Or it's not allowed. I don't know.
Well,
what people
see,
use
and
it
yet
for.
the legality gets super weird because then it's like, well, if it's all under Twitch, technically subs under Twitch don't have any value if you're gifting them yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you are outside of Twitch, you have to buy the sub. But if you're in Twitch, and if you have Prime, for instance, like, this is such a weird gray area, man. And you know that a lot of casters are going to give away gifted subs. with this system.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be
I
cool.
wonder if we just straight up tweeted them that question if they would answer.
I don't know. There's probably some people watching that might be able to go get an answer, but
I'm very curious.
I don't know. One of the things that I do wish.
Oh,
they
that's
had-
true. Somebody just pointed out subscriptions on Twitch have no value outside of Twitch.
Well, now we're just getting into the legalities of it.
Yeah, but
That is
he's
true.
right.
It's true.
he's kind of right.
Yeah. That is a loophole. In terms of not skirting around it and the legalities of all that stuff, I wish they had like a, and I think I might have suggested this to them, so it might be coming or it might not. I'm not too sure, but I wish they had some way that you could have like a channel goal where people could put channel points towards like some huge large sum, and then once that gets reached, something happens. So like, a subathon or something along those lines. I think that would be kind of cool for broadcasters to be able to do.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Even something like, hey, if you guys put in, 10 million, and again, this might be not deemed legal by Twitch, but if you put in 10 million, then we'll gift 100 subs to the channel or something like that.
You know what though, dude? At this point, you're talking about Mixer Sparks.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what those are essentially.
Oh,
They're
really?
channel pools, and that they can then put in their own currency to then grow the channel pool. As the channel pool gets bigger, like things happen and they set milestones.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, still take from the other platforms if it's a good process.
Oh hell yeah, for sure. Innovate.
Yeah.
Innovate.
Yeah,
Please.
100%.
But as long as they do it better. The Mixer, the way they do it on Mixer is spammy and heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say I'm already getting feedback about that I don't like.
About what?
Apparently some folks have been saying, like, I noticed multiple times during the morning stream, like, hey, how do I turn off this crap? And what are these pop-ups? And what is this currency
It's kind
stuff?
of in your
kinda
face. Yeah. I had a
Yeah.
viewer last night that anytime they would get salt, they would post in the chat that they got salt. And I can already see that becoming an issue.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that popping up yesterday during Court of Swords and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, it's kind of
wanna-
a lot.
And I'm guessing it's going to be another task for like Frank or Face Z or Better Twitch TV. It's like turn
Filter it out.
off salt or turn off point notification shit.
Right.
It just
I have to
seems
say-
like another thing to like. Okay, you guys have probably never ever watched like Chatterbait ever. I will admit that I have, and the thing that I have a problem with those kind of things, like, while it is porn, yes, but also like, there's no way to like, the chat boxes are so flooded
Oh, with bullshit.
with bullshit during those streams. Like, I don't want. I'm not saying it's going to become Chatterbait. I'm going to say like the chat will be so clogged with shit
Oh, so I made that
that it's
mistake
so
last night.
difficult to like have people have an interaction, because it'll be like, my bot says, "Hey, follow my Twitter," and then this notification says, "Hey, I just got blah blah salt," and then this notification says like this
Sorry.
person like highlighted message.
Yeah. No, I
I
made
just
that
got
mistake
the
last
funniest
night.
picture of Zeke on Chatterbait, and he's like, "All these people are ruining my immersion. I just want to talk to her. Can we just have a chat, please, lady?
My
Can you put your
chat
shirt back
experience,
on?"
yes.
Oh,
I want
God.
to chat with the guy who's got pudding on his balls.
Sure.
And I can't because all of these notifications are clogging up the chat. He doesn't see my message.
I made the mistake last night of setting the highlighted what is it? The highlight my message to 10 because I didn't know what point, like I didn't know the point to watch ratio. I turned that on and chat just devolved into like just you can kind of use your brain to figure out what type of messages were highlighted for 10 salt at that point. But yeah, they need some sort of they need that help article to be linked with the second that or the first time someone clicks on that stuff, whether it's a streamer or whether it's a viewer, for sure. Because it's a
Mine's up at 2,000 right now.
oh, for the highlight the message.
I
Yeah,
may raise it more. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, a good way to think about it is like okay, if somebody's going to have you read their message, or they give you something that they really want you to say, most of the time they put it in their resub message. Hey, cool stuff happened this month, something like that. So, in my opinion, it seems like that should be basically like a resub message. You should get like one message every couple weeks or a month that the streamer is definitely going to read 100% and probably respond to as well. And it's like, if you think about it, you have thousands of people watching. That's potentially thousands of those messages a month. So, and if you keep it low, like if you keep it at the what did they have it at normally? Like 150?
I think that was
Or
default.
every
Yeah.
single viewer could have multiple of those messages per stream?
Right. Yeah, I'm
When it's a
curious to
highlighted
know.
message, that like it's like that red highlight that you see or is that just a better Twitch thing?
It's just like
Oh no,
when
no,
someone
the red
subs.
highlight, yeah, it's just highlighted words. For if you have FFZ right now or anything, you actually don't see it. At least mine's broken. I don't see highlighted messages on my chat right now. The only thing I see
Okay.
is when they go to my notification software. So,
Okay.
which is custom. So right now, I think their purple messages are the highlighted ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like the sub because when you sub, it's purple, right? It has like a purple transparent background on the chat. Is that?
Oh, it does like
Mine's gray.
italics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's gray. Yeah, yeah. I forget. I rarely look at the chat for sub notifications because I have like the third party program as well. So
I haven't looked at like standard Twitch chat without any add-ons in forever. I realize like I haven't looked at it without Better Twitch or Frankerface Z like in forever. So I don't even know what regular chat looks like anymore.
yeah, I'm sure that's. The
Oh,
case for
maybe
a lot
they
of
do
people.
show up as red. Okay, never mind. For FFZ, they show up as the normal red highlighting. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys mentioned a good or skirted around. I think a valid point there that this has to be like scalable, right? So this has to work for people with 10 viewers, 100 viewers, 1,000 viewers, 10,000 viewers, 100,000 viewers, and I don't know how that works in terms like how do you make that scale to that? That's such a difference in.
You set your own, don't you?
Yeah, but like how do you make that work? That's impossible to make that program work for those type of viewerships. They're so different in terms of chat activity, in terms of how the channel actually operates, in terms of what chat looks like. It's just that's a tough thing for them to crack, I think. And even for a streamer, that's a tough thing for them to crack. So maybe they just leave it to the streamer.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I guess I'm not like I wasn't getting what you're saying because I thought it was all up to the streamer to say like this many points will get you a highlighted message.
Right. But if you have 10,000 plus viewers, 30,000 plus viewers for a couple streamers, and people are constantly highlighting messages, then your chat is just a fucking shit show.
It's
just
trial
like-
and error.
If every other chat is highlighted, you might as well not have highlighting. It's like if you're highlighting a book or something for school. Like if you just highlight every other line, then it all becomes meaningless.
Yeah.
So-
Everybody's special. No one is special.
100%. Right. That's
Exactly right.
Exactly that. Yeah. Yeah.
Could have said it better.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely have my eyes on that stuff to see what it does for a lot of the. Do you guys know of any? I think Ko's probably the largest channel that I've seen with it. I don't know if anyone else has, like if Lyric or Shroud or any of them. have
Another
it on
thing
the
that's
platform.
happening apparently.
Baru's on top of that shit. He's always on top of that shit.
I didn't know Baru was.
Oh, he apparently has like a perma sub for life for 2 million points or something.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, apparently
Allowed?
like the pop-up show, like if you're earning points, then apparently pop-ups happen every time you qualify for a new thing. And then once you qualify for the most expensive thing, then you stop getting the pop-ups. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Hopefully that'll answer that to a few people that are getting that. So if you're in a channel and you see like constantly pop-ups reminding you of how many points you have, that apparently only pops up anytime you qualify for a new reward.
I see. Well, let me ask
So
chat
thank God
this.
it doesn't just pop up all the time.
Yeah. Let me ask
So-
chat this, because this is the most important thing about all this, and it's the entire reason this thing exists. For people in chat, will this make you idle streams more often, or do you just not care? Because if you don't care, then it doesn't matter. Overwhelmingly, well, I'd say like,
Overwhelmingly no.
yeah,
I
there's
see
a
a
lot
couple
of
I
no's.
wills, but that is overwhelmingly no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, but they're also going on they don't know what the rewards are.
Well, no, the rewards are there. The rewards are out right now, but the
the
rewards
Twitch
right
rewards
now
are not the
yeah,
custom
they're all
ones,
Twitch.
yeah.
So you can edit an emote, unlock an emote as a non-sub, post a sub message in a sub panel, highlight the message, which is what we've been talking about all this time, and then streamers can put in their own stuff,
Sorry.
whatever that would be.
And
I'm
I think if
I'm laughing.
Go ahead.
I'm laughing because Brew has a thing where apparently if you have 20,000 points, you can ban yourself. I
Hey,
kinda
that's
like that.
that's awesome. For 40,000 points, you can ban someone else. For 60,000
was
points,
just talking
Baru will
about that,
stop the
like-
stream immediately and go get a hot dog.
Man, that's good. I like that.
I was
one.
just thinking that, like, in my chat, like, because I have my chat open since we're broadcasting on all of our channels now, and I've been watching my chat, and they've been coming up with ideas. And one of them was like the shitbox in my channel, the 2-minute timeout. Like,
Yeah.
you could shitbox people for like a certain amount of points, just time them out for 2 minutes.
I like Baru's first option. For 5,000 points, you can get nothing. That's the reward. It actually says the
Sure.
word nothing. So you can just spend 5,000 points
Why
and
not?
get
man?
absolutely nothing from
Why
it.
not? Yeah.
I like it.
Do you think that's? I just think of this. This creates a lot more work for, like, if you're a bigger channel, this would create a lot more work for the mods, because the mods would
Yes.
you would have to like
But
parse out all
Well,
of that, like the rewards.
to be
stuff,
fair,
if
Zeke,
it wasn't
only-
like
yeah,
automatic
only if-
shit.
It depends on how many rewards that you wanted to do that required that. Like right now, the system is pretty much autopilot. Because like the mods don't have to touch any of the emote unlocking, they don't have to touch the sub messages, they don't have to touch the highlight
Right.
stuff. Like all that's kind of automatic. But if you start putting in a bunch of custom rewards that like need the streamer to do something or need some kind of attention, then yeah, that's going to become a nightmare
Yeah.
real quick.
Also, to be fair, Zeke, I can count the number of channels that actually use mods that are bigger than Co. So
True.
there's very little moderating out there.
Most streamers get to a point where mods just become like fashion people in the chat. Like if they use it kind of like as a VIP system.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, well, I guess we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens with it. I would expect them to hopefully do more with this and be able to create some more Twitch created functions rather than just like custom functions, because I think a lot of the cooler stuff is going to have Twitch's hand in it to be able to interact with the platform, because in terms of what we can do as custom, our hands are kind of tied by the apparent legalities of it that they also posted. So,
This is a great first step though.
It
Like
is,
actually
100%,
connecting non-subs through the payment systems. Like this is a really big good first step. But I think they need to give us access to decide how many tokens are earned per hour, access to clear our tokens and reset everyone when they want, more options in terms of like it'd be really cool. For instance, we can assign anything we want under a point amount for like a text block, but I'd love to be able to make my own rewards and just have the options of the things I can do underneath them, so I can kind of like plug them in and make different configurations and stuff. Because right now we're kind of all that stuff is locked to predefined rewards. I'd love to
Right.
get more customization there and be able to like really tie into the system. Maybe get an API connection, so
Yeah.
we can like get our bots involved and stuff. Oh man,
I'm
a lot of fun stuff they could do. I hope they do.
I'm not necessarily sure that I agree with the idea that different channels have different points or different amount of points earned per minute or whatever. I kind of like it being the same across the entire platform. because it's just
The
standard.
only thing I would say there though is like some people love when subs get more stuff, and other people like me don't want to do it at all.
Well, that's and I think that's a different thing. I think you should be able to toggle that.
If that's toggleable, then in that point you're earning different amounts in different streams anyway. So why wouldn't you just let it be custom?
I guess we're talking about two different things. I'm saying that the amount earned per time should be the standard across the entire platform, but the whole thing with subs, that should be on a channel by channel basis. Does that make sense?
Sort of. So right now it's 122.40 if you're 2x.
Right.
So from what I understand, it's 120 CPs if you're a non-sub, and then 240 if you have the 2x sub. That may be wrong. Again, I'm like getting info from chat as I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's the number of I've
okay.
seen. Yeah.
So if everyone could change how much their subs get, so I'm 120.240, you're 120.1200. Let's say you want to give subs 10x, then at that point it really wouldn't matter what our base is because everyone's going to be getting wildly different amounts of points anyway.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's why I was saying like
what
I would like is I would want to get like 20 points, like one every 5 minutes. Or one every 2.5 minutes. You know, like make something like more structured, because 120 for 60 is kind of weird. I guess it's 1 point every 30 seconds, which seems like a lot. But again, like it would all depend on the cost of your rewards. It would all depend on all that. So, yeah. But
yeah.
That's the thing. It's also arbitrary between every channel. So why not just give us the customization to do it however we want in our channels?
Yeah, if the points don't mean anything, truly, then who cares?
And everyone wins.
Yeah, everyone wins. Yeah.
Reminds me of Whose Lines Anyway. It's like
right.
Everybody's funny and the points don't matter.
Yep.
A good game, 1,000,000 points to you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Especially if you can't like get anything outside of the platform for it. Because my mind immediately went to like, hey, if you have X amount of points, you can redeem it for a percentage off of merch or something like that. But you can't do that. It's against Twitch, not TOS. I don't even know what to call it. The rules.
Policy.
There you go. Policy.
It's against their channel points acceptable use policy.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Thank you to the lawyers in the room. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Should we talk video games? Zeke, did you play any video games while you were traveling? I know you played D&D.
No,
we talked about that yesterday.
But I did watch some video games being played at Burning Man.
Yeah, what'd you watch? Do they have arcade
I told you about
this
yesterday. No, I told you about this yesterday. They had this like when you go to Burning Man, they give you a little book of like the camp names and their theme. Like grilled cheese sandwiches, like you see, okay, they serve grilled cheese sandwiches at midnight or whatever. Or this is a sound camp or blah, blah, blah. But they also have a section in the book called one-time events. And you can go through, like, this time around, like, it took me 4 years to do it. But I finally, like, went through the book, got my coffee in the morning, and I was like, okay, let's see what's happening today. And I looked through some, and I went, StarCraft tournament?
Oh, right. Yeah.
What? StarCraft tournament? That's weird. So I went to the camp that had a StarCraft tournament, and they were doing StarCraft 1 Brood War. And they had, like, 2 screens, like, it was in this shade structure, 2 screens, like, behind the people playing. They had a shoutcaster. It was, like, a real-ass, like thrown-together pickup tournament of, like, StarCraft. And the shoutcaster was on fucking point. He wasn't, like, it's like he'd done it before. And he was sitting there like shoutcasting, and he was using like Burning Man lingo, like inserting it into his like shoutcasting stuff, like stuff that after going out there, like he would use terms like Sparkle Pony and just fucking different shit that just from going out there, and it was really cool. And I talked to the camp lead. It was I remember the name of it. It was Captain Pump's Raiders. Was the name of his camp. Captain Pump's Raiders. And I talked to Captain Pump himself, and he was like, yeah, dude, you should come back tomorrow. We're doing tabletop. And I went, what? He goes, yeah, we're doing tabletop tomorrow. We're going to have all kinds of tabletop games. We're going to have, like, and I went there, and they had Dungeons and Dragons. They have Settlers Catan. They had all kinds of different, like, card games and board games and shit that I had never heard of or seen before. So I sat down and I played some fucking D&D, like in the middle of the goddamn desert for like an hour and a half. Like they handed out like template characters. I played a dwarven cleric. We killed this giant scorpion out in the middle of the desert. It was fucking awesome. It was great. I had a blast.
Nice.
But this was all like this camp is all about like our kind of nerd culture stuff. So they would do that shit like
But
that was their
it was
gift
at
to the
Burning
playa.
Man. So the announcer was like,
Yeah.
okay, if you'd like to be in our StarCraft tournament, first you take the acid over there, then you wait there for 30 minutes until it's kicked in, and then once you're seeing shit, that's when you get to play. Have
Yeah.
fun.
Once you are a Zergling, then you can play.
Yeah.
You know?
How Zergling do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
Right.
Meanwhile, the guy's like, he's like, great, you're ready. Okay, awesome.
Huh.
I see you're
The
prepared.
thing is, like, people say,
Okay.
like, why would you want to do that shit out in the desert? It's because you need a break. You need to like a break from the, doing all sorts of like riding around and seeing art and doing drugs and dancing and all that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you need some downtime. And my downtime usually is, even though my job is playing video games, my downtime is usually playing a different fucking video game. Like, or Dungeons and Dragons, like a downtime activity for me. If I didn't play it online, I would find a game to play it. So it's like that's like during the hottest hours of the day, you're in this shade structure. Oh my god, and like out in the desert, there's certain things that you forget, like are luxuries. I walked in there like, hey, you want some Doritos? I was like, fucking Doritos. They're like, how about a Mountain Dew? And I was like, what is this, heaven? Oh my god. I'm sitting there drinking Mountain Dew, eating Doritos like I was back in fucking high school playing Dungeons and Dragons. It was awesome. And then that night, I went out and took drugs and went dancing. It was great.
Boom. That's Burning Man in a nutshell.
I'm just saying that was my relaxed time. That was my downtime. My time in the shade to like recharge my battery.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Cool. You'll be doing your full recap tomorrow on your channel, right? For people
Yes,
that
I
wanna
will.
tune in.
I'll be sharing pictures and stories and all that kind of stuff starting at noon Pacific tomorrow. And boy, did I forget every time when I come back, like how much recharging I need from that shit, because it's a week out in the desert and it was a 15-hour drive. So like, man, I was fucking pushed,
Yeah.
to say the least.
I bet. Well, some video games came out while you were gone. Me and Co played a decent amount of them. I think he played more new releases than I did. I played a game from 15 years
Pretty
ago.
much just World of Warcraft. The
Yeah.
whole time. I was completely addicted. I couldn't tear myself away from it.
I heard about that. I heard about WoW, which made me kind of glad that I like skipped this particular week because everybody was like so into vanilla WoW. But I also miss like I'm sure we'll talk about like Control and Medan or whatever.
Yeah, we could start with
But-
WoW because
Talk about WoW.
I did not expect it to be as big a thing as it was. It hit like 1.2 million viewers on Twitch in the game directory. It was, I think, the biggest number they've had in a game directory, not around like a special event, like an E3 or a CS major or anything like that. So it was a big deal. I think Asmongold hit 350,000 viewers on his stream or something like that. Was the largest single stream for it. But at the end of the day, it's still WoW. Like, it's still WoW. It's still the game that you played from 15 years ago, for the most part. They introduced layering, which is a thing that basically allows them to put more people on a server without having the experience completely fucked. And then, of course, players immediately exploited that by if you get invited from someone else who is on a different layer, when you create a character, that character is always on that layer. So if you invite someone to your group, then the player that you invited goes to your layer, which could potentially move you to their layer and respawn all the mobs in front of you. So then you can just kill them, drop the group. After a certain amount of time, that is reset. You can join another layer, the mobs are respawned, and you can just, yeah. So it's a little bit like, they're going to remove it when phase 2 hits, when the PvP and stuff comes into play, I think. But there's already a lot of top players that are 60 that are just complaining because there's so few people at 60 that they don't see that many people in the end game zones because of the layering process. So that's a whole another thing. But at the end of the day, it's WoW Classic. Like, it's
Layering is just a fancy term for instancing, right?
No, it's not instancing. Blizzard's very specific about that, and I can't tell you why. Someone in chat might be able to tell you why. I can't tell you why it's not instancing, but it's not the same as instancing.
Okay.
Because instancing implies that it's not a zone. It's literally an area, I think is how it's broken down. Like an area is layered, not a zone. And by
Okay.
area, I mean like the immediate area around you. It's more akin to phasing. Yeah, that might be right. Um, a channel inside an instance. Okay. Blizzard has a whole thing on it. If you want to read about
Okay.
it,
Cool. Yeah, I'll look into it more. It sounds definitely more complicated than instancing.
yeah, it's the same idea, I think, but it's not. It is, but it isn't. And I wish I could talk a little bit more about it, but I don't know the full. I just know that I exploited it and got it to respawn my mobs, and that was nice because I would just get invited to groups. But yeah, I mean, there's not much apart from like the crazy viewership and the layering stuff. It's WoW. I mean, it's the game that you played 15 years ago, which for me was fun, and then it wasn't, and then I stopped playing the game because I got what I wanted out of it. And others still are enjoying that fun, and eventually I think that that fun will run out, or it won't, and that's fine too. That was probably the number one conversation that I saw across every single person that was streaming it was the constant every 10 minutes someone joining the stream. Hey, so are you playing this just for nostalgia, or is this a good game? Should I play
Dr.
this?
Lupo figured out some of this the copy pasta that was going around to like almost
Yeah.
every major WoW stream.
Yeah.
It was yeah. I'm not jealous of what you guys had to put up with for that.
I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like that bad, but it was definitely just
I dropped into some of the larger streams.
sure.
And the part that sucked. And this is the part that really that was the most unfortunate of the whole thing. Is it was definitely clear that there were more than a couple larger casters where that stuff was affecting their enjoyment of the game.
Oh,
And
that sucks.
that's the thing that really left an impact. Because the whole reason everyone's going back to WoW is so they can relive those awesome times they had back in the day. So to see these guys that are like legit getting frustrated trying to stream the game, just be like,
Were they
oh,
awesome,
you know,
though?
what?
Were they awesome? If you remember back, like when I was no lifing
The
Burning
memories
Crusade
were
and
awesome,
Wrath of the
Zeke.
Lich King, like I remember
get me
thinking,
wrong.
oh man, this is awesome. And then once I got away from it, I looked around at everything that was around me and went,
Dude.
everything has been neglected because of this.
Rose tinted glasses are a thing, and I should say trying to recreate the nostalgic aspects, not necessarily. Like for instance,
No,
I played
I
EverQuest.
get it.
I played EQ1 growing up. That was a game that didn't have a map of any kind. If you died, you had to go back to your corpse and hope to God you could get there in time, or every single bit of equipment you had would disappear from the game.
Right.
That was on your character. Like there were some really bad, terrible times in old school MMOs, and Vanilla WoW is no different. But that being said, it still creates situations and scenarios that you remember fondly. It's like those kinds of things where if you go through something really difficult with a good buddy, you look back and laugh at it instead of look back and think about how terrible it was. Because you got through it. So I feel like in a lot of ways, older MMOs are kind of like that. You look around today and you see like all the coddling theme park MMOs. You nudge your buddy and you're like, oh, you remember when we played 15 years ago and you actually had to talk to people and you didn't have an exclamation point over everyone's head and you had to earn your experience going uphill both ways. It's like, and you laugh and have fun with that.
So-
It's good.
I experienced that, but inverse, where I would go from point to point, and there were multiple moments where I thought to myself, man, I wish I was playing Final Fantasy 14 with this viewership. Because I would much rather be playing Final Fantasy 14. I just know it wouldn't garner the same amount of response from viewers that this would. And that even went so far as on one of the days I listened to the entirety of Final Fantasy 14 soundtrack while playing WoW. And that was a lot of
Okay,
like,
man.
where's this music from? I'm like, oh, this is from Final. This music's really good. Should I play that instead of WoW Classic? I go,
Isn't it,
you can't
though?
compare them.
Pretty
Like
great.
they're not comparable. Don't make the choice. And going back, someone in chat reminded me because I guess I had blocked it out. The message that I got the most is, isn't dual boxing illegal? Can you do this? Is this legal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
And I think the majority of that is because I think the larger WoW streamers shit on multi-boxers a lot. And so when they would go offline or when viewers would kind of go away from that stream and join other
It would
streams,
just wash over your stream.
yeah, they would find their way to my channel, and it got there were some
What is
heated
dual
gamer
boxing?
moments. Dual boxing is playing 2 or more accounts at once. which is what I'm doing right here. You can
See how JP's character has that other character that's just following him around?
Yeah,
That's
and
also JP.
there's the
He's
other
playing both
window
characters.
is the other character. Yeah.
So it's very
Well, and what's-
common, even in old school MMOs, to play like a tank and a healer.
Right.
And that way, since you're playing both characters, you can just do all the content yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember this dude like doing like a story back in the day where this guy was playing like, I don't know, 12 totem something or others, and he
Shaman.
was raiding. Yeah, there you go. He was raiding all by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. There's people have
Yeah.
fort boxed.
Funny story, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say my mod manager Boatman, he does multi-boxing in EverQuest, and he got up to, I think at one point on one machine with one keyboard and mouse, he was running 40 characters.
Yeah. It's
So
honestly not that hard.
using a combination of cascading VMs, programs that send controls to multiple VMs at once, and he would actually do content designed for entire guilds by himself at the computer.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't have any footage from that. But if he didn't look like the WoW guy from South Park, I would be disappointed. I would.
Why aren't we on Mars yet?
Yeah.
Why don't we have a colony on fucking Mars yet?
That was the other thing is I would get a lot of people. So the other big thing, I guess, that I glossed over, the queue was a lot of fun, so to speak. That by
I heard it was terrible. Let's get some numbers.
Yeah, go ahead. Or you want me to go ahead?
Yeah. I just kept hearing about how terrible it was, but I don't know, like, what was your average wait time in hours?
I never waited in queue once, but it's because I had normal hours. I would get online at 8 a.m. every morning and go to sleep at like 10 or 12 at night.
Wow.
And so with that, I never waited in queue. But if you got online at like, I would think around on weekdays during the week of launch, around on my server, which was fairly large, by 10 o'clock, there was a 30-minute wait. By 4 o'clock that afternoon or 5 o'clock that afternoon, there was a 10,000 person wait, which estimated around to be like 6 or 7 hours. That got better when they introduced more people on each layer. Sorry, they increased the amount of people that could be played on or that could be in each layer. But it's still like, I think right now if I tried to log in like prime time, it would be pretty wide or pretty long. There were some servers that had like 100,000 person queues.
High School 666. There were reports of 11-hour queues on EU servers.
Yeah, I think Whitemane might have been the biggest EU server, and at one point that 100,000 people in queue, which was probably that like 11 to 12 hour wait time.
That's just to get into play.
That's just to get into play. It's just
Now,
staring
do
at
they
the
have any
login
kind of-
screen.
Do they have any kind of system to where if your computer locks up or crashes, you can get back in like in a set amount of time?
So yes, and I didn't know that until 2 days ago when I was playing another game, but I had my other two accounts in queue so that when I finished with my game, I could just swap over right to WoW. And when it disconnected me, I would join the queue at the end. Then after about like 30 seconds, it would put me back up to where I was in the queue. I don't know what that grace period is, but I know that there is a grace period. And that also comes when you get disconnected. You can log back in within a certain amount of time and not be put into the queue. So that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
It
Drove me crazy back in the day on MMO releases.
Yeah.
Especially when the MMOs were buggy and would crash all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Whew.
And so that was
Are
the
you
other
done?
thing. Yeah. I think I'm done only because Path of Exile is coming out Friday, and so that'll fill my lust for
Your
grinding.
endless play void.
Yeah, my endless play void. Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want to call that. Had Path of Exile not, or if Path of Exile was not coming out on Friday, I think I would still be playing to some extent. I enjoyed the game a lot more when I wasn't streaming it, only because it was that type of deal where when I was streaming it, I felt like I wasn't actually being in it. It was just me like, hey, how's it going, guys? What's up? Cool. I was so melancholy. Just there was a malaise over my eyes of where I was just like, all right, I just gotta kill this mob and get this fur. Cool, this is going good. Because I streamed almost 4 days played, so 96 hours in I think 7 days of it being released. So I was just gone mentally. And streaming that with that amount of time played it was a lot. And so as soon as I like turned off the stream, I was able to, become the South Park guy. I had a lot more fun with it. Which was nice.
I just watched you for like 3 straight minutes and you didn't say a goddamn word.
Yeah, no, it's exactly
which is
that.
so strange
yeah.
for me.
Yeah, it was, and that's kind of the same across all the streams. Like most of the people wouldn't say that much, unless they were stimulated by other means.
I was going to say, I noticed that streamers generally fall into two categories. Exactly what you just said, which I would say was most streamers.
Yeah.
But then you had the other streamers that were doing it super old school in Ventrilo with their buddies.
Right.
And
Oh,
it was
and
kind of
so
funny because
yes.
those people were like just endlessly joking and talking like they would back in the day, like with all the people playing MMOs with. Makes it very hard to, stream unless you're going to look for somebody playing with a group of people over Vent.
Right.
But yeah, that was a pretty big discrepancy, like in terms of types.
And I think if if WoW Classic was to come out again, I think I would find like a group of because I was playing with a guild. I was playing with Strippin and his friends, but they were Strippin's friends and not my friends. And so not only was I playing WoW by myself and also just streaming, I was also like dealing with the social awkwardness of being thrust into channels with like 10 people who I didn't fucking know.
Well, also, I mean,
So
it's always awkward when you have to third wheel with your wife's friends because
Yes.
they know them very well, but you're just like the significant other, so
Yeah.
they have to treat you carefully. And
Yeah.
I know that must be hard with you and Strippin.
It's true. It's true. I mean, he's a popular guy. We have a guild, or they have a guild with like 700 or 800 members in it. At like 4 or 5 a.m., there's like 300 people online in guild chat just fucking spamming away, which is kind of cool because you were able
That's
to get
kinda
groups in like a second. But I didn't know a single, like, it was a type of thing. It was the streamer ego took a hit when I would be like, hey guys, does anyone want to do Wailing Caverns? And fucking crickets would chirp. And then Strip would be like, hey guys, want to, oh, I got invited to a group. Okay. So I was just like, oh shit, no one knows who I am in here. That sucks. So I think that also contributed to my 4 days played of WoW Classic was purely a solo experience for the most part. And that's like that. I was fine with that. I think had I been playing with a dedicated group, had I had been only playing one character, I would have gone on for a lot more. But there was a wave of endorphins and release when I was done and I logged out during prime time because I was like, oh, thank God I'm fucking done with this game. Oh, let's finish Control.
Wow.
So that was cool. I didn't expect that. To like, I felt, I guess the addiction had a stronger hold on me than I thought.
It's almost like you played an MMO like a single player game.
Yeah, I would say so.
Your WoW Classic experience had an end.
Yeah, yeah, in a way. The worst part about that was the second I logged out and I played more Control, that night I was like, I could go start a hunter right now and I'd have a heal bot up till 30, so that'd be kind of, maybe I should do that. Okay, I'm going to log, oh, fuck, there's a queue. I'm going to sleep. So I just like left. So the queue kept me out, which was nice, but yeah.
I remember trying to get it, like you reminded me of trying to get into raids and stuff. And eventually after I started like getting better at, because I was just straight DPS, mage class or whatever it was called.
Right.
And trying to get in there, and you'd have to like build up a fucking rep before be invited and shit. It was like, yeah, you can bring Zeke along. He's got good DPS. He knows the rotation or whatever like that. Like you'd have to have someone like fucking vouch for you to get into some of these raids and shit.
Yeah. I will say that was something that was cool, is seeing the same names. Like you don't see this, you don't experience this in retails, but like servers meant something in WoW back in the day, and they mean something in Classic. So you'd see the same people like sitting at the Zeppelin, and so if you had a bad interaction with them, both people are going to remember that interaction. And so generally everyone was pretty nice to one another. They would like, if you'd walk up and you'd be killing a mob, you'd stop attacking and invite that person because obviously they need to kill that mob. And you don't want to make them wait for another 5 minutes for that mob to spawn. That type of stuff.
Yeah, dude. Someone, Garochin said, "You're invited, but your friend can't come." Like that
Yeah.
would happen all the time.
That happened a lot. Yeah.
Like, are you bringing Bear Mark or whatever the fuck your screen name is? Don't bring him.
Yeah.
Don't bring him. We don't like him. Yeah, I know he's got good DPS, but he's an asshole, so don't bring him.
Yeah. It was pretty much that. So I think, once again, as it usually does, Path of Exile is saving me. So I'm excited for Friday and that launch. But,
last time we had a show, I don't know if you remember me saying, but I was like, hey, I'd never actually seen the new PoE trailer for the new season. We should watch it. And we were like, oh, yeah, let's do it. And then like something else came up. We never
didn't
did.
watch it, yeah.
I've still never seen it.
So I watched it.
What's new in this league?
Patch notes came out last night. I haven't read too much into them. Well, I don't know if this league is going to be good. And I think a lot of people feel the same. It's a tower defense league. There's a full-on tower defense system, which is really weird. And so people are, we don't know. Like, the mobs have 2 to 10 times the amount of HP as normal mobs, so you have to use the towers. And the mobs won't attack you. But I don't know.
I will say, in theory, the Bestiary League.
Yeah.
It sounded cool, and then we played it, and we were like, oh, God.
It's also a summoner. They're trying to, like, force the summoner meta. They changed a lot.
Which is fine, because I actually really wanted to go back to my minion build, so I'm probably going to try that again.
They've added a ton of, like, there's gems that make your minions taunt and, like, tank, and there's gems that, like, apply poison to your, and fire, and, like, they're really changing up the summoner game, and, like, almost forcing that meta. And for a lot of people, they don't play the game to play the summoner build, so that's going to be kind of rough with that. They also introduced a second skill bar, which is a big deal.
Oh.
Yeah, if you hold down control, it opens up a second skill bar, I think is that. There's a lot of quality of life changes,
dude,
which is good.
I know, I heard the control mouse wheel thing. I've been wanting for that. I've been wanting that since the beginning. Like, that's a huge QL thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of things that are, like, stackable now in the currency tab. Harbinger Orb stack, and they have their own spot. I think, like, the...
Dude, I'm going to have to find a new build now.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, God.
We'll see what happens. I'm expecting to, like, get through the weekend, and if I'm still playing by, like, next Monday or Tuesday, I'll be maybe surprised, and I'll be fine with it. But we'll just have to see how the new league mechanics work. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's definitely a lot of changes though, and the patch notes were quite long. They nerfed Cyclone. They nerfed a lot of stuff actually. So we'll see how it goes. And I think Poison is the other big thing that they added a lot of new stuff to. A bunch of new, like, Poison skills. And I've never played a Poison build, so that might be something that I do. We'll see. Oh, and Mines. Yeah, chat brings up Mines as well. Mines got a bunch of changes. So that's the newbie's guide to what is Path of Exile 3.8. What's the name of it, chat? Not Synergy. Blight. That's the name of the new league. Yeah. We'll probably talk about it next week at length when we actually have more information, but looking forward to play it. I've been looking forward to this because I don't know your stance on this game, Co. I think you liked it, but I don't think you liked it as much as me, which I think is a really weird situation for this show. How do you feel about Control? Are you super into Control?
No, I am.
Okay.
I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Are we just doing it? Should I just go in?
Yeah, let's just go into it. And I'm going to be very careful about what I show and very careful about what we talk about because this game is very easy to spoil.
Yes. Control is doing some things. It does some things okay. It does some things great. And it does some things better than I've seen in any game before.
Yes.
It is a very cool action adventure game. I really liked the world. I really liked the world development and the things that happened throughout the course of the game. The characters were pretty good, although relatively one-dimensional for the most part, although there were definitely examples that were outliers in that.
Definitely standouts.
Loved the weapons, but for me, the whole game was pretty good. But for me, actually similar to another game I played recently, the thing that really stood out was the gameplay. Like I just had a good time playing this game. I loved seeing the different weapons. I loved getting the power ups for them. I loved utilizing them all together and differently, in different ways. Really enjoyed the variety of ways you could approach different situations. The amount of side stuff to do all over the place was really cool, especially like how many little hidden areas and paths there would be, just for looking in directions you never normally would. Overall, really cool. Biggest complaints were some of the systems felt half finished. Like the UI for the items and inventory
That
were
was the worst
extremely
part.
simple.
Yeah.
There was no. It's a giant game where you essentially farm these modifications for your weapons and character, and there's no sorting for them. And it's
Yeah.
just like, what is going on with it? Like the icons are all like you know 3 different shapes in paint. Like it was very strange. It felt like some parts of the game were just like half finished or not polished, and then other parts of the game were like AAA plus,
Right.
which was a little bit weird. Um, Also, not to be spoilery, but I would have liked a little bit more exposition in the later third of the game, because there's a lot of very interesting, cool stuff going on, and I feel like sometimes it just kind of like gets you to the next story point so quick that you don't really get to like
There
get
was
lost in all the awesome stuff they're developing around you.
Yeah, to speak to
Um,
that a little bit, I felt like
I'm done, so go ahead and
okay. I
launch
was
into
gonna
it.
say one of the not hurt. I don't know what I didn't necessarily like the fact that when they presented you with some of the FMV and some of the cutscenes, you would get like a very small sampling, and then you had to open up your menu and go in to watch the full thing. Like I wish they and I understand why, because I could totally see someone complaining like, I just want to play the damn game. I don't want to watch this full like minute or 2 minutes or whatever. But without that stuff, I feel like the story is hurt without those full videos.
Dude, absolutely.
So,
In
it's
fact,
weird.
also some of them are kind of out of order. Like,
Yeah,
for instance,
yeah,
this is I'm not really going to spoil this, but just to let people know, you get this particular entry called Northmore,
yes.
and when you listen to it the first time, it doesn't really mean anything. But then, as a very perceptive viewer pointed out, past like the 2/3 point of the game, if you listen to it again, knowing what you know, it takes on a completely different meaning, and you're like, oh shit, like that explains what that thing was. Oh damn.
But that's
So it
the
becomes,
game in a nutshell, is
yeah,
somewhat
kind of.
right. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
I
But the thing is it's so easy. Not only is it easy to glaze over that stuff,
yes,
but there's so that happens a lot of times, and then there's almost nothing in the game telling you
to do
to
it.
like go back and look at this stuff. So you just have to either remember it or do it.
Yeah,
But what's really weird is the first time you see it, you don't even know what you're looking for. So it's like you wouldn't even know to remember to go back to look. So it's a little weird. Most game tropes show you something you don't understand and then explain what you don't understand later. But this game shows you shows you what you don't understand, and then it will just give you new info without referencing the old stuff. So it's very different how it does it. Very
yeah,
different.
yeah. I agree.
Oh God, Threshold kids, no.
Did you find all the videos?
I think so.
There's 3,
Uh,
I think.
Oh yes, then we found all of them.
Yeah, that
Oh,
stuff was
God, man. Disturbing.
it.
so
They were
strange.
really fucking well done, but they were
there are 5.
unbelievable. Oh, there's 5. I didn't know there was 5. I only saw 3. I guess
I think
those
I only
other
got
ones are.
through 2.
Yeah, I guess those other ones are not.
No interruptions.
Yeah, fucking Christ. They were so well done, but they were so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And I to use that as a jumping off point. I think all the videos and all the stuff that is like within that world, the way that you can go up and watch it is so well done. Like it's such a cool thing that your character is just standing there, and if you have RTX, you can see a reflection of your character. That sometimes if you're watching a Threshold thing and it's done, it goes to a black screen, your character's face pops in because your character's staring at it. That's creepy as shit as well. And so when there's just projectors, you can like float the projector and it'll still project on whatever you're throwing it around in the room. Did you mess with any of the RTX stuff like that?
A little bit. A little bit.
I thought that was so well done.
Yeah, I went in with the RTX off at first, and this is definitely a game where you can. The way this game world is created is that almost every surface is somewhat reflective. Either the
Yes.
floors are marble, or the glass is there, or it's steel. So this is one of those games that is completely fundamentally designed to take advantage of RTX. Because if it's not on, you basically are just like in a room with lights. But then you turn on RTX, and all of a sudden, every single surface lights up with reflections of the other surface, and it's very wild. If you want to know what RTX is, Control is one of the best ways to see like without and with, and you
I
can like right there see what's different.
I would go as far. I would go as far as saying like this is the killer app for RTX. I feel like it does RTX better than any other game out there. Even better than like Metro Exodus, which I think is a lot of people would use as their.
Their new DLC does it really well.
Oh, really?
But I agree. The base game for sure.
Well,
Base
and
game for sure.
I also want to be clear that it does RTX. It does. It doesn't do RTX with like the lighting, and it kind of does, but it's more about the reflections in the game. I feel like the reflections in the game are so well done, and it
They look real. They look completely
yeah,
real.
they're it's fucking insane how good they look. Like staring at a window and seeing yourself perfectly reflected in that window, and then in a firefight you shoot that window and the reflection just obviously goes away, but the window right next to it that you didn't shoot, you can like see your arm still in that reflection, and it's still like perfect 1-to-1. It was so well done.
For me, it was the marbling, man.
That
The
too,
marble
yeah.
floor, and the ones that would reflect you but just slightly distort the image based on the
Yes.
material, and it would perfectly line up even when your gun would be creating light. You would see it diffuse differently in the floor, like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you're saying this is the game where I finally like install my RTX 2020?
I would say yes. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It adds some
2080,
experience.
hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely adds
Okay.
some experience. I wouldn't play with RTX on high, even with like my. And I'm curious to know Ko's FPS with this. But if I turned RTX on high at 1440p with everything else on ultra, I'd get like 40 to 50 FPS. If I turned it on medium, I would get like 60 to 70. So I played on medium. I didn't play with it on high.
Oh wow. I played with everything all the way up, including RTX, but I was 1080 60.
Oh yeah, yeah. 1440p is obviously double that, so it's probably why there's such a huge drop.
Probably why.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say, at 1080 60, it never dropped below 60 with everything turned all the
Really?
way to max, and it was gourd.
Yeah, I mean, when the game looks good, there's no denying that. Don't the console versions of this game do not run well. That was a huge complaint.
heard.
A non PS4 Pro, it's actually like single digit FPS in fights. So if you can, don't play it on a normal console.
Control was unfortunately what most dev studios are doing these days, and actually what CDPR has done, as we recently learned in their demo, something else we can talk about later, is most companies make the console version, make sure it's good, and then make the PC version look beautiful.
Yeah,
But a lot of people are thinking that they did it, unfortunately, backwards with Control. They made a super good-looking PC version to show it off, and then they tried to drag that version down to console, and apparently it did not work very
yeah,
well.
yeah. It is what it is. I'm okay with it, but it's because I'm on the green side and not the shit colored side of the console world for sure. You spoke a little bit about the story. I thought the ending. I thought the ending was basically just a setup for DLC, which I'm fine with because I'm going to play it. But it was definitely like with how strong I think the mid game was in terms of story. I wanted a little bit more from the ending.
I couldn't have said it better. It's
Yeah.
basically what I was saying about the last third of the game. I wanted more exposition, wanted more
Yeah.
story, wanted to see it kind of go somewhere a little bit more. But then after you know the ending, well, I guess it's not. I was debating if it was spoilery to say this, but these days I don't think it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You can play this game after the main story's done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So because of that, I kind of understand why they did what they did.
Sure.
Because things had to be cogent and the world had to still be explorable and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been nice to get a bit more like, and maybe we'll get this. Maybe a DLC will be like the conclusion. Some games have been doing that in the last few years. So, but yeah, it would be nice to get a bit more. I want to know more about like what happened,
Dude,
like, why
the
it happened
story
the way
is
it
so
did. Like,
fucking
there's
cool.
So much stuff. Yeah,
It's
I still want to know
so
about
cool.
this.
There's so many things.
Um,
Man.
So many
Can
questions.
this game be completed in 2 sessions?
Well, you rush it.
If you rush
not
it,
gonna
you
want
don't do side stuff. Like, dude,
Okay.
the atmosphere in this game, and this is coming from me. Keep this in mind, Zeke. The atmosphere this game creates is like unfucking real cool. It is so cool to just from the very start, you're just like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And that lasts through till the end.
So, not to be too spoilery, Zeke, but the way that it works is essentially you're in a large area, and you can, if you want to, just A to B to C to D to D, all the way to the end of the game. And that, from what I understand, will take you about 10 hours if you do that. But again, you're in a large area. You do not need to do that. And there are lots of reasons and great enhancements. There's side missions. There's new powers, new mods and stuff you don't normally get. What's also really cool is as you're moving through this very large area, the game will randomly give you what are called alerts.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll just be wandering through like some part of the game on the left, and a box will pop up and it says, "Hey, alert in this part of the base over here." And you need to go address this if you want to save them. And you don't have to do it, but if you do, then you complete a little challenge, you get a little side mission done, you may get some loot you haven't gotten. Maybe you're farming for a particular upgrade, or you're trying to get enough resources to get a new gun built.
Yeah.
So it's very much a contained area. And I wouldn't go as far as saying it's open world, but it's not linear. It certainly doesn't have to be linear if you don't want it to. And I definitely am. I'm in JP's camp. Take your time with it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Zeke, this is me saying this. I was like seeking out these little dossiers that you can find and reading them, like word for word, on the edge of my seat, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And also, you would find stuff and it would be like, I don't even want to tell you what's in them because they mean nothing to the greater story, but they're just small tidbits where it's like, oh shit, that's kind of okay, that's kind of cool.
It's like watching episodes of like old school the Zone thing.
Oh, Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone, yeah. It really, and it feels very much. Also, a lot of this game was, if you've ever heard of SCP, some similar. Like, there's a lot of little. This game takes a lot of influence from a lot of different places: TV, media, games, or TV, movies, games. Like, there's a lot of cool sci-fi influence all over this game.
Yes.
It even connects to a previous game by the studio.
Yep.
Which that was very pleasantly surprising to see all that happen. And I'm not going to spoil it or any of that. But yeah, it's awesome, Zeke. I think you'll find a lot of things to like.
I've only, from luckily, the clips that I've shown here are basically pretty gameplay centric clips of me and Co playing. The way that they tell the story stuff, I said this a little bit on Court of Swords, and I was unsure about saying it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and say it because I agree with what I'm saying. There are moments in this game where the voice acting and the way that the story is being told and the writing is like God of War levels. Specifically, one instance in the middle where you're talking to, I don't even know how to say it without, it's kind of a spoiler, but it's not. Did you exhaust all of the dialogue with the bald guy, Co?
I did.
That was an amazing fucking moment. It was so well done.
That was really cool. Also, the guy that plays the bald guy does that so well.
It was so unbelievably well done. I was on the edge of my seat, and it was like non-sequential. It was not that important, but I was just like,
and then how all of that was important later. Like,
it's so good.
It was really good.
So this is like an immediate play then.
I think so. I think it's that good.
It's one of the better AAA titles in a while from a story and world perspective.
Yeah, and the gameplay is also very fun.
The gameplay is a highlight.
Yeah, they made a Star Wars game that feels better than any Star Wars game in terms of like the abilities and stuff that you can get. Like you can fucking fly in this game. At a point, you just start flying. Just cause.
Best part's just the throwing shit though. I just love throwing shit everywhere.
The throwing shit's great too. It's very strong.
Like, the first thing I did was put all the points into that, and it's great.
Yeah.
Like at any point in this game, you can just. It's not spoilery, is it, JP, to talk about this?
I think powers are not spoilery.
Okay, so at later on, at any point in the game, you can just hold down your power for basically your telekinesis, and anything in the game world that's near you will then be brought into your possession. But what's amazing is there's a system where if nothing is available near you, then you'll just start pulling chunks out of the floor and wall.
Yeah.
So your character, if you want to throw something at someone in front of you and you're in a hallway, your character will look at them and then without looking, put her hand up in the wall, like just pull a chunk of concrete out of it, and then just like throw it at a dude's head to one shot him.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
It's so satisfying. Like they really nailed the momentum of that shit flying at someone and like breaking their armor. Then you follow up with like a pistol shot to the body, and that feels good as well. So It
Gameplay was good.
yeah, yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely think you should play it as soon as possible. And I think the other thing, Zeke, that we haven't talked about or shown is they use FMV in this game
Yes.
to great
Lot of
extent,
it.
and it's very well done. And the main characters are told through that.
professional FMV.
Yeah,
Blink, blink.
it's
blink.
It's crazy. Like you'll walk into a room and there's a projector, just like playing an FMV video. That's very story centric, and you can walk away from it, but it's worth watching, and it like saves in your inventory. And the coolest part is, if you go over and levitate that, Zeke, the projector will still project. It'll just be spinning. It'll project on anything around the room. You can move it around. You can like take it with you to just watch while you're walking around, and it's so well done. It's one of the cooler parts of the game. And then of course, if you can't destroy the projectors, but if you like lose it or it gets cut off or whatever, you can watch in your inventory after the fact. So.
Oh, you did too?
What was that? Oh yeah, I went back and watched it afterwards though.
I actually I tried to, but I caught the very end of it.
Yeah, I went back and
I
watched
just
it.
watched it for about 20 seconds. Was just like, this is happening, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. Okay.
It was a fever dream of that shit. Yeah, I'm trying. Like, have we said enough, Zeke? Have we gotten you interested? 'Cause
No, I'm totally in. I'm
Okay.
absolutely in.
All
With
right.
all the people telling me that I should play it on Twitter, and from you guys, like,
I think it's right up
selling
your
it to
alley,
me,
man. I think it's real
What-
because it's. Yeah, if it hooked me, I
if
think
it's
it's gonna hook
weird
you.
and has FMB, I'm already in.
It's very weird, dude.
I love weird.
There's a rule of 3 that is very much throughout the entire game, and what I don't like, it's not like the game rule of 3, but just the rule of 3 and the power behind like 3 people or 3 things. And you'll walk up to like a pull switch, Zeke. You pull it once, some noises happen. You pull it again, more noises happen. You pull it a third time, without a load screen, instantaneously, you're in a completely different area. And I won't say why or anything like that, but the game like hinges around that type of shit. It's that type of like weird sci-fi stuff. And it's so well done. The first time it happens, your character, and the other thing is Jessie, the main character, will just kind of ad lib as that happens, and she'll just be like, "That's fucking weird," and then like halfway through the game, she's like, "This is awesome." So she kind of grows with it. So it's cool. It's cool. I would definitely say check it out as soon as possible. There's a little bit of the RTX stuff on the ground in terms of how well done it is. So.
Well, looks like I'm gonna have to install that shit tonight then.
Yeah, you should put your RTX in, or put your 2080 Ti in. It's 100% worth it. You will have to do a Windows update. If you're not on Windows 1903 or higher, you will not be able to get the RTX stuff, Zeke. So,
Okay.
and if you want to know what Windows version you are, hit Windows key R, then type WINVER, and that'll tell you what Windows version you are.
Well, thank you.
So, yeah. Be careful with that. The update can sometimes suck, but mine was fine. So I think yours will
What
be
build do you
fine
have to
too.
be on?
1903 or higher.
Yeah, I'm on 1903.
Perfect. You're good. Yeah, just install it.
Can we take a break? Because I
Yeah,
need
we're due
to
for a
take
break. We're due for a break, so we'll take a break. That's Control.
I'm like,
I think it'll show up on Game of the Year show. At least for me, it will. I don't know for Co. There's a lot of games out this year. I shouldn't say that so soon. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, and I don't know. There's some other stuff we probably should talk about. Some other video games. Some other stuff. So we'll do that. We'll talk stuff right after this. We'll see you after the break. Be right back.